6-2, Superintendent 6.
Superintendent 662.
Where will you find that lookout spot, okay?
Not quite there. Should be there approximately 2 minutes.
Okay, give me a holler when you get place.
Good copy. You have a duty as professional firefighters to establish and maintain effective communications at all times. Good communication is vital to your awareness of the work environment and to your crew's ability to perform at their highest level.
We've all studied the watch-out situations. These watch-outs are clearly identified fire line hazards. The 3 communications watch-outs shown here will definitely affect your situation awareness. We also know about the standard firefighting orders. The firefighting orders are a tool used to help mitigate major fire line hazards. Communication is also interwoven into all 10 of these orders. How will you get a forecast without the ability to communicate? Pretty hard to get much information about the fire without communicating with someone. How will individual firefighters know what the fire is doing or expected to do without communication? How will you make the escape routes known without communicating that information to others? What good are lookouts without communication? Without good communication, how will you get the information you need to think clearly and act decisively? This is a pretty easy one, isn't it? Giving clear instructions is a big part of good communication. Maintaining control without being able to communicate, now that would be a challenge. Establishing good communication is the foundation for safe and effective operations.
You can see by this quick look through our fire safety guidelines that communication is one of the most critical functions on the fire line. Almost nothing can happen in a firefighting operation without effective communication. I mean, just think of all the things we have to communicate during a fire.
Weather observations, fire behavior changes, requests for more resources, warnings, work instructions, new safety zone and escape route locations. The list is endless. On the fire line, there are as many ways to communicate as there are things to communicate, and you're required to be proficient in many of them. How well you can use these methods directly affects your situation awareness, your effectiveness, and ultimately, your safety.
We've talked about communications in general, and we've seen some examples of effective communication. We know that good communication is critical to both individual and crew situation awareness. But just what does all that mean to you? How do we get good communication on the fire line?
Communication is the exchange of information. Any communication requires a sender, the talker, a receiver, the listener, and a method to deliver the information.
Since communication requires both a talker and a listener, it's a little difficult to exchange information when both people are talking. So, the model we'd like to use for the fire line is a lot like using this radio. When one person talks, the other one listens. And when we talk about techniques for improving your communication skills, I'd like you to think of them literally as tools. A Pulaski, a shovel, chainsaw, that you can pull out of your toolbox and apply to whatever communications task is at hand. A little while ago, we saw that communication has one talker, the sender, and one listener, the receiver. And we saw what happens when two people try to send and receive at the same time: confusion. Well, one powerful tool to help achieve a clear understanding is switching roles between sender and receiver frequently during a communication. This kind of feedback, this trade-off between talking and listening, may sound like common sense. But watch this example and see if it doesn't sound familiar.
How you doing? Charlie Pork from Sequoia. Good to see you here. Hey, we have a couple small fires happening right now, and I'd like to have you and your crew staff one of the fires.
Okay.
They're going to helicopter you in
Okay.
to one of them. Be prepared to stay for a couple days,
All right.
and we'll get back to you.
Okay. Well, all right. How effective was their communication? You notice there was only one sender and one receiver, and they never switched roles. Let's try it again. This time, notice how much more information gets communicated with a little more give and take between the sender and the receiver.
Any questions?
Yeah, who's the IC?
That would make a difference, wouldn't it? You would be the IC.
Okay, do you have any information on the location of the fire and the area I'm going into?
I will get a map for you in the legal, and at this time, you're looking at the fuel type as the same elevation as where we're at now.
Okay. Is there any specific hazards I need to know about for my crew?
Yeah, at this time, I really don't know.
Okay, great. Just where's the helibase at and who's in charge?
The helibase is about a half mile back up this road here. It's flagged to be on your left side there. There's a helicopter manager there. I'll call and make sure that they know you're coming to manifest you and your crew.
Well, thanks a lot. I appreciate it. It's first time taking my crew out, and I don't want to screw up and make any major mistakes.
I understand that, and any additional information I'll be sure to relay on to you.
Great. Appreciate it.
Now that's communication. It took a little longer than that first exchange, but look how much more information was communicated.